Hello and welcome back to another Talking Tale video. In today's one, we're going to be looking at the brand new TMNT, the RW ongoing series, issue number 3. And this one is focusing on Leonardo and his time in India run along the river gangs, I think it was. And this one was a very disappointing one, just because going into this issue, we got to see a lot of pages seeing like Leonardo fighting the Foot, and even we got to see one only a few days ago from New York Comic Con. That was like a scene from after the battle with loads of foot soldiers everywhere and helicopters crashing down. And I was going into this one expecting to be like a really dark issue, a lot of action, like I won't say gore, but like dark, mature, gritty, like stuff which I was really expecting and really looking forward to. And then with this issue, it came out and it was hardly anything like that. And like there was parts which I did enjoy, such as like we got to see like Leonardo learn ways of his new turtles. We got to delve a bit into like different religions and countries. I thought that was quite interesting. And then there was the Foot showed up and Leo's like, you took him out and don't get to see that whatsoever. It's so frustrating. It's okay. Let's actually talk about this one a bit more in detail. So with this actual main story, Leonardo has gone over to India, I'm pretty sure it is, along the river gangs. And in this issue, it said that basically that if you don't go to these river gangs, then you haven't really fulfilled life and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I never heard about them before, so I guess I haven't fulfilled life yet, so yeah. But I mean, with that, I did find it to be like rather interesting. And then even when like Leonardo went on to explain that in India they had like funerals every day, and then as they send the bodies out to the river, these turtles will come out and eat with the bodies, and they wouldn't eat the bones, but they eat the flesh. And I just thought that was like really interesting and very fascinating. If it is real. I mean, I haven't looked into it, but I don't see any reason why they would lie about it. So, yeah. And Leonardo decides to take on this new way of life and decides to just meditate for months on end. And there's not really too much to this bit other than he's just meditating and yeah. And then he decides to like give up because he doesn't really want to go through with it anymore. But then some poachers come along, he beats them up. But we don't get to see that whatsoever, but the turtles accept him then, just because it did that. So, after that, it was about a few more months later, we got to see Leonardo, he's still doing his stuff, and then that's when the Foot come. And then that's when Leonardo just somehow defeats all of them, we don't get to see it, he's taking down helicopters, you name it, and it was very disappointing. And I'd say that, like, it actually showed some of this stuff. I feel like I would be a little bit more pleased with it, but with the way they went around it, it was just so disappointing. Because set things up, it seemed like it's going to be a very interesting fight, very dark, and all that kind of stuff, which I was really looking forward to. And yet they just skipped over it as if, you know, we're not supposed to see it. But it's Ninja Turtles. We'd like to see the action part. So, yeah, it was annoying to say the very least. But after that, we do get to see a pretty decent scene where we do get to see Leonardo being a bit ruthless, where it's going about, oh yeah, like, you know, life has a few parts, and something along those kind of lines, and you can take salvation, or you can take anger, and Leo's taking the way, a different way, and then just decides to smash a foot soldier's head into the screen to make sure it gets activated, which, I must admit, I did enjoy that part, but why didn't we show any of the other action bits? So, yeah, and then that's when Leonardo decides to fly over to Tokyo, where we do get to see Leo and Raph. They're continuing on their fight from the last issue, and yeah, I mean, at least this is a decent action scene. At least I should get to see it a bit more. I mean, I'd say that would be a bit overall. I'd say that it's weird because with the way that Jason Aaron was writing the Turtles in this bit, it didn't really feel like he understood the characters all too well, despite him saying that all these things about him, you know, like he's been a fan of Turtles since they came out and he's a big fan of it, but it doesn't really feel like he really understood characters in this scene here. I mean, because Mikey and Raph were arguing throughout the whole thing, and there wasn't really too much to it, but one bit which like stood out to me was the fact that Raph called Mikey little brother. it just seems so weird that he would like use that word like brother. Because, I mean, I don't necessarily mean in a weird way, but like it just doesn't really seem the kind of thing which Raph would say to Mikey in a way. Because I know that I hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Where it just doesn't really feel like the kind of thing that he would say. Like maybe bro or something along those kinds, or even a different nickname. It just doesn't really seem the kind of thing that would like suit that scene whatsoever. But I feel like maybe in the next few issues, once we actually get to see all Turtles together fully again and actually interacting with one another more than just like a few pages, then this might not be such an issue. But as of right now, it does feel like he doesn't really understand Turtles' interactions just yet, so we'll wait and see about that. So yeah, and that's when we do get to see Leonardo just decides to just run the helicopter right through the building, which I must admit I did really enjoy that bit. It was very just like out of all the Turtles, and Leo throughout this whole issue is like, oh yes, I want to lead a new life, I want to lead a life of peace and all that. Decides to just ram a helicopter through a building. Yeah, why not? So, yeah, and that's when Leah reveals to Mikey and Raph that the Foot are going after Donnie, or I think either they catch it. I can't remember, I read this issue last night, so some bits were a little bit fuzzy. And let me quickly just read but the last little bit there, but I'm pretty sure, if I can find it, where did I put it? I'm pretty sure with it was saying that like the Foot have Donnie, which I think that's pretty cool and interesting, just because there was a lot of stuff which they've set up with Donnie and what they're trying to do there. So yeah, they found Donnie. Okay, yeah, so there's not really so much to it, so I don't think that the Foot actually have Donnie. Okay, so yeah, but even with that, it just the same things up for Donnie's return in the series. Yeah, I guess it could be interesting, I guess, so we won't see about that, but at the same time, they just destroyed a helicopter, the fastest way they could have got over to Donnie, but no, okay, so, yeah. God, I mean, even like another thing which I was arguing about with Raph and Mikey, they're arguing about who the Foot were going after first. So Raph says that he was attacked 3 days ago in prison. If that's the case, how did he get to Tokyo that fast? Just because if they go through, I mean, if he's going through all the sewers and all that kind of stuff, I don't think he'll get through airports and all that unless he was using his like ninja moves. Which, okay, yeah, that's understandable, but it can explain this. So, yeah. So overall for this issue, it was a very disappointing issue. I was expecting a lot more in terms of the action side of things for this issue. And because it's supposed to be a Ninja Turtle story and all that kind of stuff, and with the images which are giving now at the time, like showing off a lot of like action kind of stuff, only for it to not really be in there whatsoever, it's just really disappointing. And I do think that it does suit Leonardo's character quite well in terms of what it's trying to do with showing off the peace side of things, but at the same time, just why didn't you show off the action? Just why? But yeah, the artwork was, I feel like it suited the story well enough. I don't think this is my preferred look for the Turtles, and I don't think that the art style works all too well. But I think that what they're trying to go for with the peaceful aspects of this issue, especially like the colours, I really feel like that aspect of it where it did feel a bit more calm compared to other issues. But I just don't think that this art style would work too well on a regular basis. It just doesn't. It just feels a bit too cartoony, simplified in a way. But I don't mean in a bad way. I just think that it works well enough for the calm aspects. It just doesn't really work too well for the other aspects of this issue. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this issue. Do you like it? Do you not? And yeah, that's it for today, guys. If you please share, subscribe and stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.